every single parish in this country had a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Single parish in this country had a hospital. No matter where you were in this country and you fell sick, you were never more than half an hour away from a hospital.
Or a clinic.
Somebody who shall remain nameless, guys, me open my mouth, I hear some politics, me a chat. Close them down.
Wow.
Turn them into health centers, and those that weren't health centers, them locked them down. That was the time when the majority of our nurses migrated to the United States and England because they had no work.
Brain that again. Brain chain. Continue.
There was a time, I tell you why people hate things. Life is about the landlord versus the landless.
Wow. I like the analogy.
There was a time in Jamaica when, I keep saying it, I've said it for years, I'll say it again till them son me. Jamaica is the largest remaining plantation on earth, undergoing the longest slave revolt in history.
Give man a round of applause. Give man a round of applause, the man.
That is why.
Give man a round of applause.
Hold on, Octane, you just hear them thing here. Him teach me amigos every night. Him teach me amigos this every night.
Continue, brother.
That's how we are listening. That's how we are listening, because we are learning.
That is why you have people who are bleached to reach. When you have a nation who looks in the mirror every morning and don't like what they see, you don't have to fight him. He's killing himself.
That's why I say education, brother. Because at the end, brother.
No, let me show you the history of how it works. Unfortunately, it's facts. So if it comes across as political, I'm sorry, but it's facts. Every single thing you currently take for granted in this country as an institution was built by one party above and beyond the objections of another. Do you know no Rastaman should ever pay to go to the stadium? You didn't know that? There was a major games around the 60s supposed to be held in Jamaica, and the government at the time was headed by Norman Manley, and Shearer didn't want him to have the kudos of creating the stadium to do these games. So he called a strike through the BITU. Norman Manley went up into the hills of Warika and got all of the Rastafarian stone cutters. The first time in the history of Jamaica that Rastafarians worked on a building site. All the stonework you see at the National Stadium was built by Rasta. You still with me?
Yeah, me I learn. Because first, I never know them as something. Me I learn.
There was a time when certain schools were reserved for them down at the slave quarters. Other schools were designed for the overseers' children and the master's children. Norman Manley said, enough. And he created common entrance exam. You hear the name? Common entrance exam. It meant that if you were bright enough to pass the exam, you could choose whichever school you wanted to go.
And Norman Manley created common entrance.
Norman Manley created common entrance examination.
Wow. Continue.
And there was a big war about it. Then people got bumming because what it meant was that the man who had him 2.5 children, let me explain the 2.5 children to you. He had 2 children with his wife, And the one him considered half the outside picnic with the helper. Such them couldn't go, them had to go to the bottom school. When Norman created the common entrance, the outside picnic could now go to the upper school.
Bobby. You see, you, Octane, and you need us to turn out wicked.
No, him a old G. Him can't get away with that.
I like that. And Bobby, this, you know, it's a bad comedian, you know. Me this say that.
Yeah, no, him a old G.
Octane, wait, Octane.
Bobby can get away with it, but if you ever say...
Just set up, please.
If you ever say back up.
Set up,
Alright,
wait.
Bobby. Say the next school, please. Can I say...
It's okay. I'm noticing that Dufton get bummy when you say bottom. It must know why.
And a bummy. But exactly over
Okay.
50. We don't know name Bobby. We don't know name Bobby. Listen and learn, but don't rap with Bobby him crafty.
Alright, Bobby. Go on, Bobby. Yeah.
Can move on?
Why know why? Why?
So now the man have a problem because all of his children are going to the same set of schools.
And this is a particular person that is in society you're speaking about.
Not particular persons.
Okay, continue, yes.
Okay. Now, they are the ones who are the precursor to the landed gentry you call the business people of
Private
today.
sectors. Continue.
Yes, them. Then Michael came along and caught the game because they're still in a little comfort zone because you could pass for the school, but you couldn't afford the fees. And Michael made it free education. Which means that if you pass, you don't need no money if you go there. There are a number of doctors and lawyers currently practicing in Jamaica who would never have been lawyers or doctors if it wasn't for free education.
True.
Okay. Now, Michael wasn't just satisfied that him could send the half picnic go to school with him brother or sister. Michael created the unforgivable sin. Michael got up one day and said, "No bastard, not there again. You say you're an encyclopedia. I am WikiLeaks.